Welcome everyone to a new episode of Spec the Truth. Let's talk about something designers need to be aware of, the upcoming National Construction Code change that mandates a ban on leaded taps and plumbing products that are in contact with drinking water in Australia. This legislation from the 1st of May 2026 is not far off. And today we have Luke Andrews, National Manager at Three Monkeys, makers of zero lead 100% stainless steel tapware, and also Greg Lowe, advisor on the regulatory and safety issues with Three Monkeys to help explain the change. Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going, Michael?
Very well, mate. Very well. Very well. Luke, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us quickly what's being banned?
Sure. Well, what's being banned are plumbing products that are in constant contact with drinking water, such as chrome-plated copper or brass alloy taps, including mixer-style taps, valves, fittings that contain lead levels of over 0.25% in surfaces that are in contact with drinking water. They'll be banned from installation of new builds or refurbishments from the 1st of May 2026.
Okay. But what are the current approved levels of lead in plumbing products, and what initiated the ban?
Well, that's pre-2026 legislation approves 4.5% of lead level, which evidence from some tests on some imported samples are saying that up to 20% of taps, or 1 in 5, exceed this level of 6 to 8% lead level in taps.
I should say in the meantime, it's well known that lead contamination could cause irreversible neurological and behavioural disorders. That's why it's already been banned from petrol and paint products. So today, the World Health Organization and the CDC, the Centre for Disease Control, both declare there are no safe levels of lead. This is especially the case for children who absorb 5 times more lead than adults at a time when their neurological development is critical.
So why did the NCC initiate the ban? We have had leaded taps for some time now.
Yeah, well, correct. It all started with the Australian Building Codes Board, who commissioned Macquarie University back in 2018 to determine to what extent plumbing products may contribute to lead levels in drinking water, in excess of those permitted, of course, by the Australian Drinking Water Guidelines. So they did quite an involved study, and they concluded there is potential for lead to leach from copper and brass alloy plumbing products in contact with drinking water.
Okay, Greg, but the World Health Organization says there is no safe levels for lead contamination. So help me understand, why is Australia approving 0.25%?
Well, one factor is lead has been added to copper and brass alloy plumbing products to make sure that machining is faster and easier, and you can lower the cost of production by manufacturers. When you add lead to copper and brass alloys, it doesn't wear the tooling out as quickly. So in many countries around the world, the 0.25% level is used, and it's advocated as low lead, inverted commas. In Australia, the 0.25% is classified as lead-free, inverted commas.
Of course.
I should add that in Australia, specifiers also have the option of zero lead or 100% stainless steel tapware, which has been competitively priced for a while now in Australia from companies like Three Monkeys.
Well, and specifiers should be aware that the National Construction Code that comes into force on the 1st of May 2026 also quotes from health authorities like New South Wales Health and advocates, I should say, inverted commas, that where lead levels can be reduced, they should be reduced, close inverted commas. New South Wales Health also reconfirms the effect of lead on children's health by saying that lead exposure in children, even at low levels, can be harmful and can result in decreased intelligence, impaired neurological development, decreased stature and growth, and impaired hearing.
I guess it's more important as far as facilities with children are concerned. Well, how does New South Wales Health advise in the meantime that lead levels be reduced?
Well, New South Wales Health recommends a number of measures on their website. The one for plumbing products is, inverted commas, when water has been left standing for extended periods, flush cold taps to 2 to 3 minutes before using the water for drinking or cooking.
Is this recommendation for current products? I guess we're talking about existing facilities here that are not covered with NCC change, in that those taps don't have to be replaced, but as the NCC now mandates lead-free for new builds or refurbishments. Or is this the advice for all, both existing and new taps?
Well, I think New South Wales Health is inferring that there is no safe levels of lead for children. And when you do have chrome-plated taps containing lead, the NCC also declares that we should reduce the exposure to lead where it can be reduced. Lead exposure should be reduced where it can be. Let's look at an example. For example, if a specifier was to respond to these declarations, let's say when they're looking at a facility for children where lead contamination is more harmful, you could respond in a couple of ways to ensure the client is 100% compliant, not only with the National Construction Code change, but also that they're compliant with all the declarations made on health and safety by the NCC and by other health authorities made on the risk of leaded tapware. The first would be to specify 100% stainless steel tapware for new builds and refurbishments in educational or childcare facilities. So I'm saying 100% lead-free, not 0.25 lead. If you specify stainless steel, that contains 0% lead. The next would be to offer the client the option of swapping out the old existing facility, inverted commas, chrome-plated leaded tapware, which the Act says you don't have to replace that, but it contains 4.5% lead. So swap that out to 100% stainless steel. The reason I'm saying that it's good to prepare that option for schools and childcare facilities is explained in the example where you're doing a new facility, say for an owner of a childcare facility who owns 20 others, and here's a new one coming up. The new build gets lead-free or low-leaded tapware. Good news for the children drinking the water in those facilities. But what about the existing 20 facilities with the 4.5% leaded tapware? Well, it's actually cheaper to swap out the existing taps for 100% stainless steel taps. Cheaper than what? Well, it's cheaper than asking all the existing facilities to stand around and take the New South Wales healthcare advice to flush out the taps for 2 to 3 minutes every morning to reduce the risk of lead contamination. So there's a couple of ways of looking at that. If you're not going to swap out your existing facilities, you more or less are obliged to follow the health advice from New South Wales Health, for example, or from the advice from the NCC to do everything it can to reduce the potential for lead contamination. And that involves standing around and flushing them out all the time. Not so good when we're trying to teach the children about water conservation.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Greg. I mean, that's terrific. Luke, I'll ask you, in summary, what specific advice or direction on the revised National Construction Code should architects, designers or engineers be aware of when creating their specifications?
Well, there are 3 critical things that they should be aware of written into the revised NCC. Number 1, look for the watermark lead-free logo on plumbing products, in particular tapware that's approved for installation after 2026 May, in order to correctly specify that. Therefore, consider carefully what tapware you're specifying now, that is for construction in 2026, and avoid the potential for costly variations of specifying lead-free plumbing products now. Number 2, note that the NCC quotes health authorities by saying wherever lead exposure can be reduced, it should be reduced. Remember, it's easier for the client to swap out existing childcare or school facility leaded tapware with 100% stainless steel than it is to take the New South Wales health advice to flush taps out every morning before school and before childcare. Number 3, check the watermark schedule of plumbing products on this link to find out whether your designs need specifying the new lead-free certified plumbing components, including your favourite tapware.
And I just add one final note. Be aware that the current leaded tapware, that is, the ones with 4.5% lead that are being banned, are indeed the bright chrome-plated tapware with a nice design we're all probably using every day at home, at work and at school. Shiny, nice-looking designs do not necessarily mean lead-free.
Thank you both. And for viewers, click the above to see the full video and learn more about this important topic. And for architects, specifiers working in Earlymark's Spec suite to create their specifications, we have selection tips, manufacturers' insights to help guide you to make the best decision for your projects. We have 3 Monkeys information in Spec suite as well, so it couldn't be easy to speak to the team directly. Once again, Luke and Greg, thank you for spending time discussing this important topic.